Our budget release is worth it? Let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. For anyone new here, my name is Jay, and today we're going to be looking at bow releases, specifically budget bow releases. Now, I've got 3 here. You stick around towards the end of the video, I will show which one I like the best and which one I would consider as my backup to my current release. Now, what constitutes a budget release? To me, that's anything under $100. I've got 3 here. I'm pretty sure 2 of these they don't even make anymore, so I will put links in the descriptions to at least the one that I know they make, and then I will try to find substitutes or equivalents of the other 2. So we'll kind of start old and work our way backwards, work our way up. I can talk. This first one, it's made by Cabela's. This is a dual caliper release. Other than that, other than it being a wrist strap, index finger, there's not too much special about it. You can't really customize or change anything on it. This release, I'm pretty sure, was somewhere around 30 bucks back in the day. You can lengthen and shorten it, but that's about all you can do. So I'm going to shoot each one of these, get my feel on what I think. All right, we're at about 30 yards. First, let me make sure, because I'd rather not do what I did yesterday. Assume the yardage and then almost destroy the wood pile back there. You know, we're at 30. I think 30 is fair to try out. First thing I noticed right away with this release, these jaws are freaking huge, and not that I have a problem getting it around my D-loop, but might be an issue for if you're doing it quick. So let's see. Yeah, I really wish you could adjust the trigger travel on that. That trigger travel is very long. And as for someone like me who likes to shoot more of a surprise break style, I'm not really commanding the trigger. It's pretty hard to do when you can't adjust the trigger. Let me try another one, just because that was my first shot, and since I haven't shot this thing in a very long time, it might have been just me. Yeah, that one was a little bit better. Fits nice and secure to my hand. No real complaints there. The jaws are securely tight. Doesn't feel like it's going to come loose or anything like that. So I'd say overall, it's not bad. Not bad for something this has got to be at least 15 years old, maybe more. Yeah, jerk that one because of that trigger. So yeah, that's not too bad of a release. Main downsides are the inability to adjust this trigger, just the length of how far. I wish it could go in a little bit further. Being right there on my hand isn't too bad. So let me go pull those arrows, and we'll talk about the next one. All right, so this is our next one. This is called the TrueFire Hurricane. Got this release a long time ago too, but I used it quite a bit. This is another dual caliper release. Only difference with this one is last one was more of a, I call it an open jaw because it sits open automatically. This one I don't know if it's the proper term, but I call it a closed jaw because by default it sits closed. With this release, there actually is a set screw on the inside for messing with the trigger travel and such. I tried messing with it, but that screw will not move. I really cranked on it with an Allen wrench. I don't know if it's just old or maybe it's not meant to be moved. This is spring loaded, so you're trying to apply pressure and break open these jaws, and then, you know, release. The release does its job and lets the arrow go. I have a feeling I'm going to shoot terrible with a release like this because, like I said, I'd like to shoot more of a surprise break, not really a controlled break. Let me know down in the comment for anyone here who shoots index finger style release. Do you like the closed jaw or more the open jaw approach? So let's see how this goes. That last round, I didn't do too bad, but I have a feeling this is going to be tough. Jeez. Again, that trigger travel on that is so long. I don't mind the length of this. I wish I could shorten it up a little bit, but overall the length of the release isn't bad. And if I recall correctly, I think this thing was 50 bucks when I bought it about 10 years ago. I'm going to try to shoot more of a controlled trigger break this time. Yeah, controlled is the way to go with this type of release. Shoot one more. Yeah. Overall, I like the wrist strap. It feels comfortable. I like with this, you could tuck this, put my bow down. You could tuck this up into your sleeve while you're walking into the woods, so it wouldn't get in the way and clanking around when you're climbing up your tree stand and such. Let me go pull my arrows and we'll take a look at the last one. Okay, so we're on to the last release here. This is called the Scott Archery Wildcat 2. This one's price point $89, $90, something like that. Now this is a single caliper release. You only have one jaw up there. Not a lot of decent adjustments with this. You can make this bar right here pretty long, so if you're someone who likes it to sit more outside your fingertips, you could do that. Or if you're like me, someone who likes it as close as possible, you can do that. The set screw for adjusting the trigger travel definitely works. Already checked that out. Another nice little feature, let me put my bow down. Kind of like the last one, but it kind of has a fold away system rather than the last one, you can do it, but it kind of just flops there, like a hinge on it, and it'll fold away and tuck up underneath your jacket if you want while you're walking in. So that's pretty nice. So let's see how this one goes. Yeah, you can definitely do a controlled break, or not a controlled break, a surprise trigger break with this type of release, because I was able to lighten up the trigger travel so much. Yeah, that is a lot better. Yeah, overall, real comfortable on my wrists and everything. One downside definitely is, and it's probably because of what I did. I loosened this trigger travel up so high, so much. Like I gotta really make sure it's on my D loop before I let go, before I assume to my shooting position, because I've had a couple times now where I clip it on there and it just comes right, see, like that, it comes right off. So something to take note of. Yeah, that felt really good. All right, so let me go pull my arrows and we'll do a little recap of the releases, and I'll show you which one I like the most. Just a little recap. We've got our single caliper release here. All these are index fingers. These are all dual caliper. This one being spring loaded. If I had to pick one, I am going to pick one. It's going to be my backup this year in case something goes wrong or whatever with my thumb button release. I would definitely pick the Scott Wildcat 2. Mainly being it has the most adjustability out of all of them. I'm a big fan of customization, adjustability, whatever. So with being able to lighten up that trigger, that is just so nice, because then you can really do your surprise break shots like that. If you take that one out of the picture, if I had to choose one of these two, I would probably go with the really old school Cabela's one, just because this trigger is also pretty light. I just do not like spring-loaded releases. I think this the spring and everything is a good contribution to some target panic I used to have back in the day. Whenever you need to, in my opinion, at least for me, maybe some of you guys out there are great control trigger pullers, or maybe some of you are trigger punchers. I mean, if you're consistent and you know, shoot well, keep doing what you're doing. But at least for me, I need to have some kind of a surprise break, or I'm just gonna punch that trigger or jerk it or do something like that. So spring loaded releases, triggers, they're just not for me. So budget releases are definitely something to consider. It's not, you don't need to go out there and spend a couple $100s on a release if you don't want to. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and drop a like below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.